Okay, now you're going to be working on the 1B Adjetivos Personas Famosas. Before you begin, I just want to remind you it says to click on the attached video, which will be posted below, and also to take out a sheet of scratch paper. While you are watching the video, write your answers down either on the scratch paper or again, there will be a document below called 1B Adjetivos Personas Famosas Responses. So you can either write them there. In the very end, before you move on to the next activity, number 3, you will need to fill in the document called 1B Adjetivos Personas Famosas Responses with your answers from the scratch paper. So again, to save yourself some time, if you feel that you can fill in the document while you're also watching the video, you can do that. Or again, most of you will want to take out a piece of scratch paper to work on this. Okay, here we go. So last class we learned that question, ¿cómo es? ¿Cómo es means like how is, and then the person's name. Again, it's not asking how are they doing, but how are they like characteristics. It could be physical, it could be personality traits. Obviously, some of the things we're going to see today, you may only see physical, but if you know who the actor, or again, you can maybe see on their face something about their personality, feel free to do that. You can also give more than one adjective, remember, by adding the word e in there. And you can also kind of make it negative by adding the word no before your response. So here's question number 1. ¿Cómo es Danny DeVito? I'm actually going to pause this so that I can number the slides so that you know where to go. So numero 1 on your scratch piece of paper, you want to write that down. ¿Cómo es Danny DeVito? You don't have to write the question down. You should just be thinking about the answer. So obviously, I'm trying to show you that Danny DeVito is short compared to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So do you know the word for short? Hopefully you're thinking bajo or baja. And since he's a guy, you would say Danny DeVito es bajo. You also could add in an and you could say y gordo. Do you know what gordo means? Maybe you think he's fat. He's probably not fat. He just maybe looks a little bit bulkier than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, moving on to numero 2. I will go over the first 5 with you so that you can get practice, and then the last 9 you're going to work on your own. ¿Cómo es Gwyneth Paltrow? What or how is Gwyneth Paltrow? She's an actress. So again, maybe you know who she is. So since she's an actress, you could probably throw in a description about her, not just physically. You could probably say she's talented. She is tall. She's skinny. And look at her hair color. So what are you thinking? Did you say ella es rubia, blonde, alta, tall, delgada, skinny? Remember, you can also say flaca. Y, she's talented. She's an actress. Talentosa. Just a quick reminder, you're describing a female, so it should have all been in the feminine for those adjectives. Maybe you thought of something else, but that is probably where I would leave with that one. And again, I'm not expecting you to write every single thing that I'm saying, but I would encourage you to try to think of more than just one description. And remember, you can add in an E to separate the two. Let's go on to 3. ¿Cómo es Lori Hernandez? And at any time, if you need to stop the video because you need to handwrite, please feel free, rewind, do what you need to. How or what is Lori Hernandez like? She is, I think you can see, a gymnast. Senora loves Dancing with the Stars. She's appeared on Dancing with the Stars. So again, thinking about all those things, I can see some physical things about her, and I can probably think of some characteristics. Let's start with the characteristic, the harder ones. Do you think that she's lazy? Probably not. She's probably active. So do you know that word? Lori Hernandez es activa. Y what are you thinking? Again, I'm the teacher, so I would maybe say hardworking. I would say sociable. I mean, there's so much, or trabajadora. I could say sociable, sociable. She has that personality. It's just super cute. Physically, you can see that she has dark hair. And in case you didn't know, pretty much all gymnasts are on the petite side. So then you could say Lori Hernandez es baja y morena. Again, I'm not asking you to write all these down. I'm just trying to get you to start thinking of multiple things, not just one. Okay, we're going to go on to cuatro. Pause if you need to. Here we go. Cuatro. ¿Cómo es Peter Griffin? The show, maybe you're allowed to watch it, is called Family Guy. To me, this would be a perfect physical description of ones that I tell you not to use very often. Maybe fat. Maybe you could think of him as silly and foolish. So let's go with that. Peter Griffin es gordo y gracioso, or you could have gone with tonto. Again, if you thought he was lazy, you could say perezoso. Again, you could probably think of other things. If you want to write them down in your sentences, go for it. When I'm looking at them, I'll give you some feedback. Okay, last one together is going to be cinco. ¿Cómo es Gilberto? This is not a real person. This is going to be a hard one. I was trying to have you look at his eyes. I know some of you will be mean and tell me he's not attractive or that he is fat. That's fine, but I'm looking more for the eyes, or if you see these items in his possibly a bedroom. What are you thinking? Pause if you need to. I'm hoping that you guys said Gilberto es serio y desordenado. He's serious, a bit disorganized. Okay. Again, physically, you could say Gilberto es feo y gordo. Okay, now I'm going to go through the next 9, just kind of reading the questions. So I would encourage you to pause the video at the stopping points so that you can make sure that you've answered it to the best of your ability. Here we go. ¿Cómo es Michael Jordan? Remember, try to think of 2 descriptions. Even better would be if you can think of something physical that we all can see, and then more about like his personality, the traits that describe him. And physical, boys and girls, means height, body stature, hair color, things like that. Pause if you need to. 7. ¿Cómo es Sandra? And it's not pointing to the dog, it's pointing to the young lady. Again, try to come up with 2 descriptions. Pause if you need to. 8. ¿Cómo es Scrooge McDuck? Probably everything you can get from here is probably more personality based on if you've seen some of the characters that he was in, or kind of in the Christmas Carol type of thing. 9. ¿Cómo es Albert Einstein? I know he is deceased, but again, this is a really good one for that adjective that's a cognate in English. Pause the video if you need to. 10. ¿Cómo es Sean Johnson? And it's the lady, not the gentleman. Again, she's wearing a gymnast uniform, and she's also was a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. 11. ¿Cómo es Jim Carrey? Probably should have picked maybe a picture of him from Pet Detective. Hopefully you know who this is. 12. ¿Cómo es David? He's not famous, just found a person that I thought alluded an adjective that we really haven't discussed today. Again, maybe something more about his personality trait. Look at his room, look at himself, and then physically, you know, hair, body, what do you notice? 13, this is from This Is Us. Como es Jack Pearson? This is Jack Pearson. So again, maybe your mother watches the show, maybe you watched the show. Think about como es Jack Pearson. Okay, last one. 14, como es la mime? And that is the actual word for mime. And she is a girl. Okay. At this time, you should pause the video, go back, do whatever it is that you need to, but don't forget to transfer your answers from your scratch paper to the document that I also have, so that you can get the points for today. Thank you for doing your best and keeping those adjectives at your forefront. Gracias.